Okay.
Invention is not enough. Tesla invented the electric power we use, but he struggled to get it out to people. You have to combine both things, invention and innovation focus, plus the company that can commercialize things and get them to people. Larry Page. Good day to you all. My name is Tyler Jardine and my student number is u16104227, and I am the 5th speaker in Group 18. I have chosen Larry Page as my successful entrepreneur. Larry Page, for those of you that don't know, is the co-founder with Sergey Brin of Google Incorporated. Larry was born in 1973 in Michigan, and his current net worth is $38.9 billion. His company Google, I'm sure, needs no explanation. Both Larry's parents were computer scientists, and following in their footsteps, Larry completed his Bachelor of Science degree at the University of Michigan and his Master's at Stanford University, where he met Sergey Brin. And as I discovered during my research, that it was not only Larry's Page's upbringing and education that made him one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, but his attitude and ingenuity. Larry, as I mentioned, met Sergey Brin at Stanford University, and together they came up with a search engine algorithm that was called Backrub. For years they refined it until 1998, after receiving $1 million of investments, they created Google Incorporated. And Backrub was renamed Google, which is a play on the word Google, a mathematical term for the number represented by the numeral 1 followed by 100 zeros. Google was not an overnight success in terms of a profitable company. The idea was genius, and only by the hard work of Larry and Sergey became the Google we know today. From 1998 until 2001, Google was struggling to make a name for itself, and Larry decided to make some drastic changes. Due to the slow growth of the company, Larry took it upon himself in July 2001 to remove all project managers, the staff who oversee the engineers and their projects. His reasons were that he thought this extra layer of supervision was unnecessary and impedant. Almost everyone from Sergey to the investors disagreed with this plan, but in July, Larry called a meeting with all staff and fired all project managers on the spot in front of all their engineers. This didn't earn him any favors, but many disgruntled employees and investors. This didn't last long, as many problems arose and project managers began to be employed again, but it dramatically changed how managers were chosen for employment and the communication structure of the company. Working with Larry was not an easy thing, and his style of leadership was somewhat different than most entrepreneurs. Larry and Sergey were very close, but almost all business meetings would be name-calling contests and shouting matches, along with blunt, condescending points. From this, the shy Larry used, along with his well-known emphatic body language, to communicate with the rest of his staff. Larry would often encourage and incite arguments between staff in meetings and was constantly condescending or mocking his staff. For example, he told his whole marketing team that the entire profession was built on a lie. Finally, setting aside Larry's well-known lack of social grace and out there business ideas, Larry created one of the most well-known and successful companies in the world, and he did this through what he called his written rules for management. When asked about his secret to success, his response was that he simplifies everything into binary and simply chooses the best option. Page's written rules for management are: don't delegate, do everything you can yourself to make things go faster. Don't get in the way. If you're not adding value, let people actually doing the work talk to each other while you go do something else. Don't be a bureaucrat, concerned with procedural correctness over other people's needs. Ideas are more important than age. Just because a person is younger and less experienced doesn't mean his or her ideas aren't worth exploring. Therefore, due to Larry's management style, ingenuity such as resizing and removing the button from servers, Larry was able to ensure Google paid the same amount to host 1,500 servers as its competitor to host 50. These factors coupled with determination, Larry was able to create one of the most successful tech companies in the world today and stride past its competitors. I would like to end off with a final quote from Larry Page. Lots of companies don't succeed over time. What do they fundamentally do wrong? They miss the future.